In the end, there will be only chaos.
Yo, dudes, the Empire's pretty chill. Maybe you could, join it or something.
Hey everyone, Lucimus Prime here. So, it's time for a video game review today, and in today's video I thought I'd review what is one of my favourite games of all time. This is also as well a third installment in a franchise which is exclusive to PlayStation, and is one of my favourite games of all time, and also my favourite game which is based on Greek myth of all time as well. This is a game developed by Santa Monica Studios. It was initially, of course, released for PS3, but then, of course, got a remaster on PS4. And this third installment I'm going to be reviewing, of course, is none other than 2010's God of War 3. So, now, how was this game made then? So, this is overall the fifth installment in the franchise of God of War, the seventh chronologically, and a sequel, of course, to 2007's God of War 2. Loosely based on Greek mythology, this game, of course, is set in ancient Greece with vengeance as its central motif. And of course, in the game, you play as the series' main protagonist, Kratos himself, the former god of war, after his betrayal at the hands of Zeus, who, of course, he's learned is his father. When he reignites the Great War, Kratos ascends Mount Olympus until he's abandoned by the Titan Gaia. Then, when he's guided by Athena's spirit, he battles monsters, gods, and titans in a search for Pandora, without whom he cannot open Pandora's box, defeat Zeus, and end the reign of the Olympian gods to have his revenge. So, when it comes, of course, to the game's gameplay itself, it's mostly similar to previous games as well, which focus on combo-based combat with the player's main weapon being the Blades of Exile, and secondary weapons acquired in the game. And the game, of course, like previous games, features puzzles and also quick-time events, so it's pretty much almost the same gameplay style as the first two games, really. When the game, of course, was released, it was initially, of course, released for PS3 in North America on March 16, 2010, and then in Australasia on March 18, 2010. The game was critically acclaimed on release, with praise for the graphics, gameplay and scope, although the plot received a mixed response. The game received several awards, such as Most Anticipated Game in 2010, and Best PS3 Game of the 2009 and 2010 Spike Video Game Awards, respectively, and the Artistic Achievement Award of the 2011 British Academy of Film and Television Arts Video Game Awards. This is also the second best-selling game in the franchise too, and the ninth best-selling PS3 game of all time as well, because it sold nearly 5.2 million copies worldwide by June 2012, and it was also included in the God of War Saga Collection released for PS3 on August 28, 2012. And since its release, it's been regarded as one of the greatest games ever made. And to celebrate the franchise's 10th anniversary, in 2015, on July 14th, a remaster of the game called God of War 3 Remastered was released to celebrate it. And of course, that's the version of the game that I played for the first time and I have here. So, and the remastered version, as of June 2023, has also sold an estimated 4 million copies, which is pretty awesome. So, when it comes, of course, to my reaction to this game then, so when I, of course, first got my PS4 in October 2022, God of War was a franchise I was really desperate to play, because I, of course, was already familiar with the franchise due to watching clips of the games on YouTube, you know those movie-style clips where it's the entire walkthrough as a movie, and it was a franchise I was really, really excited for to play. So, when I got my PS4, I immediately, of course, grabbed this game, when it comes to, of course, buying the games on it. This, and I think also the 2018 game as well, which of course came after this. And I was definitely, of course, really excited to play this, because, to actually play it after seeing clips of it. And I must say, playing this game was absolutely incredible, because this game is not just my favourite in the franchise, but it's one of my favourite games of all time. My favourite game based on Greek myth. And definitely, in my opinion, one of the PS3's greatest exclusives ever, in my opinion. I just absolutely love this game so much. So, I've already talked about the plot of this game, so it's about Kratos wanting, of course, revenge, and you play as him, and the gameplay, of course, is roughly similar to the previous two games, and it's a hack and slash game with lots of platforming and puzzles. And in my opinion, from start to finish, it's absolutely fun, in my opinion. Because it takes what's great about the first two games in the franchise, and in my opinion, makes it a lot better. I'd say this game was God of War at its peak, in my opinion. The best one of the franchise ever. So, When it comes to what I think is great about a game then, so when it comes of course to a game's main character, I absolutely love Kratos as a game character. He's my favourite PlayStation exclusive character of all time, and he's also easily my favourite role of all time from T.C. Carson. T.C. Carson, in my opinion, is a very talented voice actor, and I think Kratos is easily for me his greatest role he's ever played. In my opinion, nobody can play with God of War better than him. To me, he is Kratos. Like, I personally think nobody can do his anger, his roars of rage, or anything like that better than T.C. Carson. In my opinion, he's the only one who can pull that off perfectly. I mean, I love Christopher Judge as in the Norse mythology games as well, but in my opinion, nobody can top T.C. Carson as Kratos. To me, he's unstoppable as a character. He simply is Kratos to me. In my opinion, his best role of all time. And the rest of the game's characters are also great as well. I definitely, of course, love the game's main villain, of course, which is Zeus, who is easily, for me, one of my favourite roles of all time from Corey Burton. Corey Burton, in my opinion, is a very talented voice actor, and I think in this game he did a really brilliant job playing Zeus, reprising his role from God of War 2. I think he was really great in this as Zeus. And there's other great characters in this, like, for example, there's other gods in this. For example, of course, you've got the god of the sea, Poseidon, who is voiced by Gideon Emery, and also Hades, who is voiced by Clancy Brown, the god of the underworld. Hades is definitely, in my opinion, one of Clancy Brown's best roles, absolutely. I also definitely really love the Smith god, Hephaestus, who is voiced by Rip Torn, may he rest in peace. I think it's definitely, for me, one of Rip Torn's best roles ever. I think he did a really brilliant job playing Hephaestus in this game. He's a character you definitely feel sorry for as well when you meet him as well. And I think Rip Torn really pulled off a great performance as him in this. I also like Greg Ellis as Hermes, the messenger of the gods, and the god of speed and commerce, and also Helios, who of course is the sun god voiced by Crispin Freeman, which is in my opinion one of Crispin's best roles, and also Hera, who is the queen of the gods, who controls plant life, who is voiced by Adrian Barber, which is pretty awesome. So you've got Catwoman from the DC Animated Universe playing her in this, which is pretty awesome. Then also Aphrodite, voiced by April Stewart as well, and of course is the goddess of love. And also there's also Titans. I want to mention Gaia, who's probably my favourite role of Susan Blakesley, who did a really great job. And what's also cool as well is Hercules also appears in this game, and he's voiced by Kevin Sorbo, who reprises his role as him from Hercules: The Legendary Journeys, which is definitely really awesome. So I love how he came back for this game, which is pretty cool. But it wouldn't be the first time somebody who played a role in live action came back to voice their character, because Harry Hamlin, of course, voiced Perseus in previous games, and he, of course, played him in the live action film Clash of Titans, which is pretty awesome. And there's other great characters in this too. There's also Daedalus, who is one of my favourite roles, was Malcolm McDowell as well. And I also definitely love the addition as well of Pandora in this game, who is voiced by Natalie Lander. She's, in my opinion, a really good voice actress, and I think Pandora is definitely one of her best roles as well, absolutely. And the rest of the characters in this game all did a really amazing job. But I think the best part of the game, for me, undoubtedly was T.C. Carson as Kratos. He made the game just so much fun. Also, the gameplay, in my opinion, is absolutely fantastic. Like the first two games, it's a hack and slash game of platforming and puzzles, and in my opinion, it's so much fun from start to finish. Now, one of my issues with the franchise overall is puzzles, and it can be hard, but I will say that in this game, they're actually, in my opinion, quite easy compared to other games in the franchise. There's one particular puzzle I did like, which is basically Guitar Hero meets God of War, where you got to press buttons at the right time. And that's actually pretty fun, in my opinion. I like that. In my opinion, the game was lots of fun. And the combat was lots of fun. As a fun fact as well, guys, there's trophies in this franchise where we got to get 1,000 hits as a combo for a trophy. And this is the only game where I got that trophy as well, as a matter of fact. And it wasn't easy to do, but I pulled it off, of course, in the section with, of course, infinite enemy spawning. Also, as well, the graphics of this game, in my opinion, are also fantastic. Like, I personally think compared to the first two games, it's a major step up for the graphics. And in my opinion, for a 2010 game, it holds up phenomenally as well. Like, it's just incredible to me how well the game's aged as well. I mean, the fact, of course, it's based on characters who aren't based on real-life people, I think probably helps it age well, because it doesn't worry about being too photorealistic, I guess, which I really appreciated about it. And I think it was just absolutely awesome how it did it with the graphics in this. Like, because when I played the game on PS4, it just was incredible to me how well the game had aged. Just absolutely fantastic graphics, I must say, which hold up phenomenally, in my opinion. And I must also say better than today's graphics as well for gaming, absolutely. When it comes to a game's soundtrack, I also as well absolutely love this game's music, which is composed by 5 composers being Gerard Marino, Chris Velasco, Ron Fish, Mike Reagan, and Jeff Rauner. The music in this game was absolutely amazing to listen to, especially the game's main theme song, which in my opinion is very iconic to video gaming history. So much great to listen to. And And you hear it many times throughout the game in the fight scenes, and it's just, in my opinion, so much fun to listen to. And I will also say, guys, when it comes to a game, that in my opinion, this game also has for me the greatest final boss in gaming history, of course, which is Kratos versus Zeus. And I say this because the game's final boss is lots of fun, and there's lots of different parts of it. It's quite a long boss fight, and with lots of different areas in the fight, and it's just incredible. And at this point of the game, you're rooting for Kratos to win because of how much he's been through. That's why I think it works so well, because Kratos has been through so much in the trilogy. So I was really rooting for him to win in this final boss. I was cheering him on all the way. And I was so happy, of course, that he finally got his revenge in this game, absolutely. Because he definitely, of course, deserved to have, of course, his revenge, absolutely. And he finally got it, which I was happy about. And when it comes to the game's ending, I can accept it for what it was, because Kratos doesn't want, of course, to return the power of Hawk with the intention that, of course, that Athena can establish her own rule over Greece. So he stabbed himself with a blade of Olympus so that Hawk can be distributed among mankind. So I like how in that sacrifice, and Athena leaves empty-handed while Kratos collapses on a mural of a phoenix. But in a post-credit scene, we see a trail of blood leading away from the mural and blade of Olympus, which implies Kratos survived. And of course, the Norse mythology era confirmed this, because he's moved on of course, from his life, and he's living in a new life. So I can accept the ending, of course, for what it was. And I also, as well, definitely think, as well, that the game is fantastically well paced, because I was able to finish the entire game in 1 week. And in my opinion, it was worth every single second of playing, because it was so much fun. It was well paced with lots of really awesome fight scenes. Like, this game is just so full of it, and it's lots of fun to play through. And it's definitely, in my opinion, worth every single second. Like, I think it's one of the greatest games ever, in my opinion. And I'd probably say it's also my favourite hack and slash game of all time as well. Because when it comes to me being a gamer, guys, I've really become fond of hack and slash type games. And it's mainly thanks to this franchise, especially this game. Because this game made me love Kratos as a character, my favourite PlayStation character. And it also made me a fan of hack and slash too as well. So I think this game, of course, is definitely my favourite in the hack and slash genre for games. And I'm hoping to play more of them in the future, because it was definitely a really fun experience playing this. And I've played others too as well, which is similar to God of War. And they're lots of fun. So when it comes, of course, to my overall thoughts on the game, I don't have any problems with the game whatsoever. To me, it's the best God of War game, and one of my favourite games of all time. My favourite game based on Greek myth as well. And I absolutely love it. In my opinion, a really incredible game, which is definitely, in my opinion, worth playing. So if you guys play the first 2 games, then I can't recommend this game enough. In my opinion, it's absolutely awesome. So if you guys have a PS4, PS3, or PS5 for backwards compatibility, then please play this game. You will not regret it. In my opinion, the best God of War game of all time. I just love this game so much. So if I was to give this game a score out of 10, because it's my favourite in the franchise, no doubt, I would definitely give this game, for me, a full-blown 10 out of 10. I absolutely love this game so much. So, like I say, guys, if you guys haven't played it, then please do. You will not regret it. Absolute masterpiece the game is. So, guys, this is me, of course, doing my review, of course, of 2010's God of War 3, my favourite God of War game, my favourite Greek myth game, one of my favourite games of all time in general. So, you know the drill, guys. Be sure to give the video a like. Also, be sure to let in the comments what you guys think of God of War 3 if you played it in the comments below. Also, be sure to join Team Plan by pressing subscribe for this coming in the future, and I'll see you all later.